11 people, holy crap. And put down the vape. All right, thanks for getting here with me on this Sunday evening. Today I kind of wanted to go over facts and what I believe to be fact and why I believe it to be fact. Let's start with one. Okay, well, I can't really start with one exactly because we really don't have anything to determine his age on from what we was given publicly. We don't really have like a look at the guy's face where we can really determine the approximate age. But we have what they gave us, which is now 18 to 40. So, it could be anybody, by that measurement. Oh, yeah, you know what, man? Hey, I want to throw this out real quick. This is true as all get out. I've had this jersey for 20 years. 20 years I've had this jersey. It still says James on it, just like it did when I got it, okay? Edwin James, that dude, and I've watched this thing, God knows, 400 times, and it still looks damn good. So I appreciate that, watcher. The only thing I don't like about this is it says James, but there it is. That's it. If it said Manning on it, there it'd be. Michelle, Rich, watcher, Michael Katz here, and Pookie. But thank you, everybody, for being here. So anyway, we don't really have a way to determine the guy's age. Now, we do know, and I feel that we know, that they do have suspect DNA. Law enforcement has suspect DNA. And I say that for a couple of reasons. Me and Greeno both had investigators come to where we were at. And now they questioned us about Delphi. And then after we was telling them what, the answers to their questions, they're like, yeah, well, we can't clear you without a DNA sample. That right there told me DNA, that they had DNA. Now, I go back before that, the people that was being questioned in and around Delphi were asked the same for a DNA sample. Then, they came out with the fact that they did have suspect DNA. And I put that up there. Now, I know people question, well, it's not good DNA. It's contaminated. It's, or whatever else. It's just any way aside of looking at the fact and saying, okay, this guy apparently didn't have any DNA in there to be matched to, which is the fact. Which takes me to fact number 2. The suspect had never been caught committing a crime in his life. Now, that was given to me by Trooper Kim Riley. When he said, well, it's like the suspect has never been caught committing a crime. My reply was, well, are you saying that because you don't have a DNA match in the database? He stated, well, I cannot comment on that. And maybe he's done something, but we can find no traces of him. Now, to that I says, well, for such a crime as this, I would expect priors. Now, I did find priors. I found 3 other cases with homicide in them that I feel belong to the same guy. So we have DNA. And with him stating that we can find no traces of him, how do you know if a person's never committed a crime? Well, it ain't by DNA. They only take DNA on specific crimes. But what they always take in every crime, anytime you're locked up, is fingerprints. And that told me at the first year press conference that they had number 3, fingerprints. Oh, you know what? I wish you guys could see this because I really put some work in on this. There was the time, a DNA string, down at the bottom, there was fingerprints. Man, it looked really groovy. Really did. So I also feel that they had fingerprints, and I started telling people that, yeah, I believe that they have fingerprints to boot on top of DNA. I was called everything, and some things I won't repeat at all. But, but the point is then they did come out and say, well, yeah, we have latent fingerprints, but you see, this was things that was kind of put in ahead of time. Because, again, it's what law enforcement says most of the time. But in a lot of times, it's the things that they leave out. Because if they purposely leave something out, it fits the investigation. That was fingerprints. Now, let's see. Age, eye color. Let's go to eye color. We don't really have a way to give an eye color. Now, the lady, and I say the lady because that's the way it was stated by law enforcement, said that, now, she did not state this to law enforcement. Well, maybe she did, but, I don't know that. Well, I'm pretty sure she did, because we know that she talked to the suspect for a couple of minutes. Polite conversation, the kind, if you meet somebody on the trail, hey, how you doing? Really good day, that kind of thing, for a couple of minutes. Now, exactly, Watcher. And she stated, I don't remember what his eye color was, but I do know his eyes weren't blue. So we know that he don't have blue eyes. Oh, hey, Watcher had a birthday party, everyone. Wish Watcher a happy birthday. Okay, so, man, I'm going through these really quick. I've only been on 6 minutes. No, it ain't me. No, I'll guarantee you it ain't me. But that's what I told the investigator. I'm like, dude, look at me, man. Just look at me, please. Happy birthday, Watcher. I'll type this in. Accurately. There you go. That's pretty accurate. Okay, so hello, Donna, Christy, Teresa, and C. See, man, getting people's names up here. So is there anything else? I mean, I think that we could take in as fact that there was a vehicle parked at the abandoned CPS building from sometime in or around 12 up to 5 o'clock that day. Now, I don't think that they would have mentioned that vehicle being there at the briefing unless they felt that it was suspect vehicle. But they didn't give a make or model or anything about the vehicle. So we don't really have any information on that aside of that there was a vehicle there. Now, when I go back, and this was actually over a couple of years ago, I was looking at Delphi, and once I had found the route, and I said, duh, this fits, man. This fits entirely from his family's house to St. Louis, and that was the Hoosier Heartland. When I found that, I was like very comfortable in the fact of saying, yeah, he drove to Delphi. Very little doubt in my mind that he drove to Delphi. So, I put out, and I mean, what I did was I thought, well, if he drove to Delphi, did he not also drive to Evansdale? Now I can put the family being up north as a reason that he would have took this route, the Hoosier Heartland, that and looking at small trails, because if you are in a mind frame like that, being a sadistic serial killer, you want a way, you want, I don't want to say a project, but you know where I'm at. You want an area where you would feel comfortable in going and committing this. And I think that that was the reason that he went to small trails. Now, this brings up something else to me. I feel, and this is a little odd, but I believe that somewhere in all of this, there lies an answer. If you look at Friday the 13th of July, 2012, was there a reason that that date was selected? Any reason that that date would be selected? And I say that for a reason. I mean, I realized that my suspect had lost a job 1 month prior. But then on the flip side of that, on the reverse of that date, on the exact reverse was another one. 5 years later, 5 years and 5 months later. Now, if you add each of those dates together, all the way together, you'll come up with 32. 3 plus 2 equals 5. 5, 5. And I think, well, did he know ahead of time that he was going to do that in Evansdale? Or was it something that flipped off of something that happened personally in his life, like a job loss, like a financial insecurity? What was the reason for that? Because I know it plays in. I know full well it plays in. It ain't accidental that that was done on one date and then on the reverse. That's why he drove here. But he also drove from St. Louis to there. So I question if both of them weren't predetermined by a date. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Can a man go eat? Maybe that's it. Shit. Questions? Any questions? Any? I'm here to answer questions. I am. Okay. Well, I'll just continue talking. I think it makes people happy to see me talk. Oh, 51 tomorrow. Right on, Rich. It's also Rich's birthday tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. He can, could he both, could be both. He can lose, or he can choose to lose a job and bankruptcy maybe before he, yeah. And that's true. But I don't know. I could think of other things, man. I mean, like, take as an example, rather than lose a long-term job, why couldn't I just be like, whoa, man, I got something like really bad, stomach ailment, something like that. I ain't going to work today. And then you have a way out of work for a couple days. Or maybe you have a reason to travel that you come up with, where you got to go north. There's many different things like that, and you could very well be right. I mean, it could be both, but I don't know. I mean, I think it goes beyond just reversible date. You have a date like this, and it reverses completely to the next one. Now, each crime was 5 years and 5 months apart. Each crime added together equals 5, 5, 5. And I'm thinking that the odds of that, the odds of that happening are statistically unimaginable. I don't think that it would just accidentally pop up like that. And I do think that there was something mental in that, where it was kind of maybe set up ahead of Evansdale on a specific date to have a matching date. And I don't know why anybody would sit down and like look that over as a date that would like, I don't know. But it really does. It kind of blows my mind. Okay, 47 people here. I'm positive I don't have 47 thumbs up, but whatever. I don't always get like 47 thumbs up. Usually get more. Spreadshirt. There it is. Bam. Hey, if you'd like to buy Michael J. Cat products, and me and Puppies really had our eye on a summer shirt with Michael J. Cat on it, pointing at people. Puppy really likes them. And I'd like to see somebody wearing one. I really would. So if you'd like to buy a Michael J. Cat, summer shirt down here and wear it and take a picture of it for me, that'd be super, man. Appreciate the living crap out of it. I would, and so would Puppy. I mean, he'd love it probably as much as me, if not more. I don't want to space him out, eh? Okay. Michael J. Cat. All right, so it's all there. Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for throwing that up there. Okay, still no questions. Look, man, I'm covering facts. Help me out, man. Throw a fact at me. We'll look at it in depth. Okay, no facts out there. It's a fact, man. I got a mushroom a couple weeks ago. That's a fact. Well, I can't say every detail. I mean, I can't like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure being prior military, once he got to the south side of the bridge, I'm sure he went under the bridge, made sure nobody was there camping or fishing, just alibi site. Made sure that was clear, found the lowest place that connected to the south side to cross. Also, going to private property that was down in a holler. Now, I think he may have walked over there, originally before, anybody was even abducted. to look that area over. But having seen, okay, man, it's down in a holler where nobody's like going to be seeing or hearing, I think that's why he kind of chose that place. Yeah, but here's the thing: I wouldn't buy Doge. Doge, man, is I mean, here's the thing: if I got like all the money ever, and I say it's worth $1 a piece, okay, I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it. And I go, oh yeah, but I mean, it goes on forever. It ain't divided into anything or backed by anything. But I mean, I see where that they're trying to pump it in the media and want people to buy it. It ain't gonna be me. Nah. I mean, right now, Bitcoin's going down. So are Cardano's. And that's good, man, because over the summer, man, that means that I can be buying both at a discount. Nothing could be greater than this current dump. Love it. Hey, Wombat. All right, man. Glad you made it, dude. Colette, how you doing? You see. All right. Hey, Leon Craig, man. Thank you, man. Ask a question. We'll get right to it. Yeah, I am a little pooky too. Yeah, if you're talking about Monon High Bridge, yes. I mean, if you go to the Monon High Bridge trail, all you got to do is follow the trail because it goes right to it. Now, I mean, when you hit up to the secondary entrance, which is probably, let's say, about a 7-minute walk from Freedom Bridge in, then there's the 501 trail and the 505 trail. Well, it's 501 steps to the bridge, but this one right here goes down to the water by the bridge, which is 505 steps. They run parallel. So yeah, if you go out to the trail, you can't miss it. I mean, it goes right to it purposely. Okay, so we kind of covered that. Now, what else? Is it a fact that flannel shirt guy saw the suspect at 247? Because if so, that is an amazing fact, man. That is a great, amazing fact. Because that tells us that the crime was already complete at that time. And he was walking to his car at that time down the 501 trail. That tells us a lot, man. That tells us that the crime and the approximate time of it, or the length of the crime. Because we know that Libby took Abby's picture at 217 or 207. Now, if she took that at 207, and then you take the walk time to the end of the bridge, the time from there to walk down to to Deer Creek where they crossed, the time to cross Deer Creek, and then set that up. Now, when you walk from there back to the 501, it only takes so many minutes to get back to the 501. So being at 247, he's seen him on the 501. We know that he had already reached there by walk time from the crime scene back to the 501. So we can reduce that time out. And I took it right down to, was it like 22 to 23 minutes in length? Now, that ain't very long. I mean, especially if you think, as I do, that, it was at least somewhat staged. I mean, I would think it was somewhat staged. I mean, it would have to be, because if it was just as simple as, I mean, look, if you know what I mean. If I went out and say there was two crazy people down on the Wildcat and I went and stabbed them to death really quick, well, then they would just go, well, man, these people were stabbed to death pretty brutally, but, I mean, they were stabbed to death for whatever reason. But if they was to imply brutal, and, we'll never forget what we seen there that day. Now, a lot can be put into that. I mean, this was two innocent little girls, and a person would never forget seeing that, never ever. But was it something that was also set up post-mortem, kind of staged? Which I think, and the reason that I kind of maintain that it could be, is because sadistic serial killers do this. This is something that is very prone to them. Now, I'll also take that a step further, as I was kind of getting to last week. If what was on his head was a video camera, which it very well could be, because, I mean, I've told Greeno and others for quite some time that I felt that he at least took photos, if not videotaped parts of that, because he wanted to relive it later as these people do. They want to relive that later, you know, and go back to that mentally. So I do believe that it could be a video camera, you know, very well may be a video camera. Yeah, no. Stay away from that. That's theory. That's complete theory. It's just like saying somebody brought him back. If you'd ever been to Monon High Bridge Trail and walked down there where the crime scene was, now you would know because all of law enforcement was going around that square mile. Everybody on that square mile knew 2 girls were lost and were keeping their eyes out. Nobody could have went back there and went down there with 2 bodies and put them there and then got out without being seen. So whenever you hear stuff like that, man, kind of go fact check that on the press conferences, because I mean, and really look at it. When people show up there, they're like, yeah, I can't, you know, I thought it was way bigger than this. Well, it looks way bigger than that when you're looking at it on a satellite map. You know, the property I said on here is bigger than the trails, you know. So, and the phone pings, it was pinging around Delphi. That don't mean particularly like around, but it was in Delphi is where it was pinging. And I believe that that was probably dead battery. I mean, because the last thing that we know that happened with that phone was she put it on video record. Now, one of 2 things could have happened. If it was, since it was on video record, it was recording this whole time. Now, it wouldn't take too long being on video record until that battery ran out. Now, much later, they're trying to ping that cell phone. Well, one, you got a dead battery. Now, on the second side of that, as it could have been in a top or bottom pocket where she stuck it, because I don't think she was like crossing the Wildcat with it, like lifted out of the water. You see where I'm at? So it could have gotten to the water, and which could have killed the battery. So, I mean, I will say this. It either A, caught like, you know, into the attack time, or B, it was taken out by the water of the Deer Creek. But, I mean, like later on that night when they're pinging it and it's pinging around Delphi, yeah, that's the last place where it was. And if it was getting any ping, it was around Delphi. However, I'm going to say very low battery and down in the holler, it probably wasn't pinging out too well. Just me. No. And here's the thing: if that was true, okay, the FBI would have been on that. I mean, I'm sure everything that was ever done on a cell phone by her, you know, within so long was all looked over. You know, if there was like some secret person that she, you know, they would have been on top of that in a minute. They would have had that guy arrested like right off the bat. Yeah, and that's pretty true too. If you go to the cemetery right there on County Road 300, now if you walk that down to the crime scene area, that is a 70-foot hill. That's 70 feet down. And that's what I'm saying about those ravines. They're very deep, man, and just about as wide. So you couldn't really carry 2 people down there. But again, you know, I'm just dispelling this because if you've never been there, it's easy to explain. But if you go there and you look at it, you go, oh, yeah, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. You know, it is kind of one of those things. I mean, like normally I wouldn't put that much on somebody being around the area. But I think in this particular case, because there's never been one time where I was there when somebody showed up for the first time that didn't say something to the effect of, whoa, man, I thought this was, you know, way bigger. You know, it ain't that big. It's a 15-minute walk. 15 minutes. Think about that. A straight line shot, 15 minutes. Boom. There in 15, back in 15. So it's less than a mile from Freedom Bridge to Monon High Bridge. And just the same back. It's like when you walk to Monon High Bridge and back, same trail. You know, you walk it down where the tracks were and you walk the tracks right back. Oh, sorry, Gardner. Sorry, you got to go. I don't know where it was found, even if it was found. And I take that back to Sheriff Lesenby on the night of the 13th. You know, because 250 to 300 people searched that area for over 6 hours, from 6 p.m. to midnight. Now, he stated at midnight that they was calling it off and that there were no signs of foul play found. Now, think about this. I could go out there, and I tell people when I go out there, if I had myself and 4 other guys, one maybe 20 feet out, another 20 feet on the other side of him, 20 feet down by the Deer Creek. We start at Freedom Bridge on Highway 25. And we walked out all the way to Monon High Bridge. 15-minute trip. However, walking through the woods down side of a hill, let's give it 20, 25 minutes. By 6:30, we could have stated to law enforcement, they are not at this trail. They are not here, sir. Because if they were, we would have saw them. We would have found them. They're not here. So with that in mind, when did they find the shoe? The next day? I mean, how could 250 to 300 people miss a shoe when they're looking for these girls? You know, I'm sure that they was on the south side. I'm positive that they was on Mira's property. They had already asked Ronald Logan. I mean, I'm sure that the people on the south side of the bridge offered their area up as well that they could look at. So why didn't they find that shoe then? How's come the shoe pops out later when we can look back at that and say, well, golly, that don't make any sense. Why didn't they find it that night? I mean, that's a really relative clue if she lost a shoe somewhere. You see where I'm at? And if you found it on the south side, how couldn't you just look right over and go, oh my God, there they are? If you was there, man, you would see what I mean. Because where that shoe would have been near the creek, all you have to do is look over. I mean, it's flat, straight across. Now, there's some weeds around the Wildcat, don't take me wrong, but this is in February when all the leaves are dead. You know, it just seems that would have been a little easy. It really does. And I kind of wonder where to put that shoe. Is it real? Well, that's what they say. That's what they say, little Poogie. That's what they say. But I want to know, when was this shoe found? If it was found the night of the 14th, then that right there is a sign of foul play. Correct me if I'm wrong. I will quote the sheriff one more time. We have been here. There are no signs of foul play. And the biggest thing against the girls, if they are lost, is the weather, because it was getting cold that night. Now, if somebody's saying something about a shoe, but if it was on HLN, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe anything they say. I don't care what it is. I mean, if it's on their channel, it's made just for crap, probably. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't a shoe, but I'm saying if there was a shoe, how could it have been missed on the night of the 13th? How? I mean, really, if I was at that trail that night, and I was looking for them, I would have found that shoe. I'll guarantee you I would have. I'll guarantee you, because I would have been every place that they could have went at that trail. But 250 to 300 people missed it over 6 hours. I wonder about that. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you very much. Well, and again, I mean, think about this. They find a shoe on the south side on the 14th. Kelsey says and tells them, yes, that's her shoe. Now, between finding that, taking it all the way back to law enforcement, them reaching out to the family to, like, you know, identify this shoe, didn't anybody think that they could be like straight across the river, like 50 some feet away? That never caught up with anybody, that they could be right over there. Hey, Jean-Claude. Yeah, it would have to be. And again, if there was a shoe found and it was on the 14th, one, I would question why it was missed on the 14th. I mean, like, this is law enforcement. You don't think that they would have crossed the bridge or went to the south side looking for him? I do. And how could they have missed that? I mean, at all. I don't know, man. The shoe's kind of bothersome. But again, this is things that was thrown out later, well after the fact. Let me go pull that up here real quick. Oh, wait. Let me check Bitcoin. Ah, man, it's going up again. Yeah. I want it down, man. Down with Bitcoin for a while. We're going to pull up the satellite map. Check this out a little bit deeper. See, man, all I got to do is hit O, and it just pops up on High Bridge Trail. Crazy. And now I got to go back here, but now I got to do it different. Got to hit share. No, not video file. I want to be there we go. Thank you. Everything they try to make easier, they make harder by making you have to click more buttons. Man, and one day I hope, man, that everybody's job is clicking buttons. Everybody be so freaking used to it. It was said 50 feet off the bank, northward, on the north bank. All right, 1 second. No, wait, I got to get rid of me. Let me get rid of myself. Okay. Here is the trail. Now, one more time. You see right here, and I know this is probably not showing up on your screen the same as it is mine, but this big circle right here is the east side of Freedom Bridge, which crosses Highway 25 right here. It's just for walking. You know, that's it. People park over here. They hit the trail by going across the bridge and hit the entrance right here. This is the main entrance right here. Now, this trail also goes to the abandoned CPS building, shown right here. Bam. This is the abandoned CPS building. No longer there, but it was. Now, this over here is Anderson's Grain. Right here. This is Anderson's Grain. And it's got a railroad track that comes up to here and stops there. Last time I was there, there was a caboose here. Now, the suspect, we believe, parked here. Now, he follows this trail right here, because this trail goes right up to here and goes right in to the main entrance. Now, this trail, all of this, I don't know if you can see that, but there's that little indentation through here. That's the trail area. Okay, so you go in and you walk this. Now, this right here is somebody's property from here to here. I want you to think about that as to how small this is. There's two houses right there. 1, 2. Now, you walk down this way. That's 2 people's yard up to here. And you continue on. Now, this over here is still private property. And I believe that this belongs to the Mears, the same as this over here. But the trail and everything right here to this side of it, going down to the down to Deer Creek, is the trail. From all the way up here, all the way down to here. All of this is trail area of the trail. But see, this right here is a big steep hill. You don't really walk down here. You see where I'm at? This up here is lifted 70 feet off the water up here. And that goes 70 feet down to the water down this way. And all this area, man, all the way down. You're from way up here, 70 feet, all the way down 70 feet to the water down here. Now, if there was people there, could have walked down to here, looked this over, would have crossed, because people crossed the bridge, and got over here and searched the south side right here. That would have been number 1. Now, if that shoe was found, it would have been found in this area, right in here. Because this right here, from this private drive down to here, 70 feet down. 70 feet from here to there, down, straight down this hill. Now, they went down here, caught this going back, crossed here, and this right here is where the area was, right there. This is where the girls' bodies were found, right in this area. Now, from up here down to here is 70-foot hill. 70 feet down from here. All of this right here is 70 feet. At the top here, down to here. From here, down 70 feet, incline. So if they found a shoe here and no leaves on the trees, the girls were right in here, why would you not think they could be right over there? You know, why didn't anybody go down here and search? Since Ron Logan was asked the night before, why didn't anybody go down there? Well, my belief is because of this big ravine. When they got to this ravine and looked down and seen that it goes from here all the way down to Deer Creek, they thought, well, two young girls are not going to cross that to go over there because there's nothing to go to. You know, they were presumed lost. So, hang on, got to bring me back up. There I am. So that's kind of my thought on it. Oh, yeah. If you'd hit that like, that'd be soup, man. Super dupe. You know, likes are cool. And they help that YouTube algorithm thing. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it sounds like really scientific, and I like that. You know, I always try to work with an algorithm, man. Never against one. Never against it, man. So that's why I always hit thumbs up. Always. I mean, even if it's my own video, I still give it a thumbs up. Well, felt where? I mean, understand, it's a 70-foot hill that, I mean, you can walk down. The reason is, if you get over to the edge in some areas, it's almost a straight drop off down. There's some of it where they got like a limestone sides, you know, where it goes up a good piece. And then it's kind of a drop off down, like right by the bridge where it's like cut out. It drops straight down. Now, in other areas, it's more of a hill like this, you know, at about an incline like that. You can walk down it or up it. It takes a minute. I mean, especially if you're walking up it, man, in the summertime. I mean, take a little out of you. But it's not like a drastic hill. I'll put it to you like this. If I was going to, well, if I had to drag somebody down there, it wouldn't be me. You know, there'd be no way I could drag somebody down there. So, well, I mean, you understand, man. I mean, that's kind of goes into a deeper thing I'm looking at. Because, I mean, you know, the guy that I suspicion toward this was a Christian preacher. Now, I don't think that he was working within the confines of Christianity when doing this at all. I mean, it looked very flippant of that. So I do have to wonder if he didn't believe or thought he believed that he was working for some kind of a dark entity. Thus the 13th, thus two young girls, thus reversible dates. I mean, there are things that I can look at with the dates and, you know, devil worship, stuff like that, that kind of play in. And it really does. Is that the truth of it? We don't know. And, you know, maybe that will be released when he does go to court for this next year. Well, he'll have the charges next year. I'll put it to you like that, whether he goes to court on it, man, or not. If it's federally, well, in jail. I mean, I don't know if he was convicted yet or not, but last I knew, Carroll County jail. If not, man, he's in prison somewhere. If he's already been hit, but I ain't heard that he got like convicted. No, I know he did it. That's why. I don't even have any other. I mean, when somebody gets a hold of me and says, "I don't think he did it," it's this guy. Immediately, I'm like, this guy's like on Reddit or some shit. Because I know who did it. I mean, look, man, I go back again. This was like 2.5 years ago when I said there will not be a suspect. There will be no arrest of this guy. There will be nothing that's going to come out like that, man, where they're filing charges on someone else until Thomas Bruce goes to court and is convicted. At that time, they can go talk to him. After that, then he'll get the charges. My word stands. My word stands right now, 2.5 years later, no charges, no suspect. Why? Because they're waiting for the conviction. That's why. And you'll see. Give it a little time, man. You'll see where I'm at. Come on, give us a few more. Reddit holes. Yes, he is. Yeah. Well, understand. I mean, I say that because it's who else could I suspicion? I mean, people are looking at Chadwell. And again, when I look at him with a prior felony record, I'm like, okay, automatically right there. That right there in a nutshell means he didn't do it. Because they would have found more than traces. They would have located that guy immediately. I mean, you're talking about the FBI, the state of Indiana, and local law enforcement. They don't just mess around. If you got a felony record, they know who you are. They know where you live. You know, they know all this. Anything that they would have been looking at for you, they would have found. So, again, I mean, even what was his name? C. Eldridge. What was the other? There's another guy. And then the guy that killed it. You know, there's been so many people floated out there as persons of interest. You know, well, I think he did do it. He looks like the sketch. I mean, just people repeating garbage they heard online is exactly what it is. I heard this online, so it must be true. Well, maybe. And again, I used that guy. I'll use the last name. What? SKSEXESK. You know what I'm talking about, one that found him. Well, we all seen the screenshots from Facebook. Is that real? But is it real? You know, we don't know. We don't know whether that's real. Now, I'll put it out to you like this. Somebody could message me on Facebook and I could send them a message back. Well, they can go into that message and take out what they want. You know, they can just whiten that and then go in and type in what they want with the same text. Now, they could put that up there as being real fact that he wrote this to me. And everybody'd be like, oh my God. And then everybody gravitates toward that as being real. Well, it may be real. That might be a real screenshot. Or it just could be fraudulent as all get out. We don't know. So I always look at that as it could hold some truth. Or it could hold like no real truth. Now, I believe that some of it could be held as truth, but maybe not all of it. But again, you know, we'll see in due time. Oh, okay, one right here. Kelsey don't know, okay? Kelsey is not a woman that's in the know. You know, they don't take the investigation to her and tell her who it is or not. So I would never go by anybody's, Kelsey said. If Kelsey said something, fair enough. So did Erskine. You see where I'm at? I don't know what's true, and I would not take her word on it because I think that she's very young and mentally, I mean, she's in the spotlight of attention. She's trying to say things. You know, she wants to say things to help out. Now, I would not put that 100% on anything that she was specifically saying. That's me. Oh, really? Oh, that's weird. Well, you got me there. I mean, man, if you read it in a reputable tabloid, you know, I mean, I don't want to compare it to like Bigfoot or anything like that. I mean, it was reputable, you know, like the Sun or something. Oh, well, you know, hey, have a seat. You know, everybody comes to hear me talk, so I try to do them right by talking. I don't know what else to do. I'll tell you what. You know what, man? A couple points here, real quick. One, if you go to my Facebook, let me throw my Facebook up here real quick. I think I got it here. No, I don't. Right. No. Hold on. Let me go get my Facebook thing. Here's my Facebook right here. Now, if you go there and you try to friend me, send me a message with your screen name on here, on it. And if I know you, I will add you, because I think a lot of people add me on there, but I don't know who they are. And I don't just go through and add everybody that adds me. So if you go there, send a message and give me your screen name right here, how it is, and let me know. That way I know it ain't certain people. Because some people got Down syndrome. They were born with it. It can't be held against them. Who was it that said it was God, man, hang on, what was that guy's name? The trucker, man, the guy that killed his son out in Colorado. Mark Redwine. Yeah, remember, like Greeno was saying, it's Mark Redwine, everybody, 100%, that's Mark Redwine. It wasn't Mark Redwine. I got a hold of him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Because he's a trucker. I'm like, so? Well, he could have been at, Indiana Packers. Do you have information that he was? No. Then why are you telling people it's him? Yeah. You're just throwing it out there. Yeah, sorry, Sharon. A little bit late. It's all good, though. Many listen to trash. Not all. Some actually take the time to stop by, listen to what I'm throwing out there. 46 minutes. I ain't doing bad, man. I ain't doing bad at all. So, man, I tried to make it 2 hours, but yeah. Hey, speaking of 2 hours, if you like the video, do me a favor. It only takes like 10 seconds, man, on my watch. All you got to do is click that little share button, add it right to your social media account, like Facebook, or Twitter is a big one. People enjoy that. Hell, I don't care if it goes to Reddit. I mean, honestly. If you want to throw it on Reddit, man, that's cool too, Do that. You'd be helping me out with the big share. And you'd become a preferred subscriber to the Michael J. Cat channel. Yeah. Well, you know what? Greeno can find. No, he can. I know Greeno. And this is why I've told him for years and years and years is this. You want to make $1 million, dude? Do tabloid. Because one, he's good at what he does. He's very good editor. And, he told me he was going to go somewhere and was filming something for a Bigfoot or, and I'm like, dude, get on it, man. Because I think when he does stuff like that, man, it's really good. Many times when him and I were out there at the trail, man, and we was each doing a video, I would say, no, I want you to do this because I know where his, where his talents lie. I say, you film it, but I want these things with you doing that. What's Reddit? It's some social media place, man. Look into it. Get an account and share me there. Yeah, somebody told me that's actually every bit of 2 years ago. They were, yeah, well, what? Oh, sorry, man. No, not, but. I don't want to give the name, but it's because look, I don't know them personally, and I don't know what they would think of that. But I think most everybody locally knows who it is. The guy was on the news, and it gave his name. In fact, he was wearing a flannel shirt when he was on the news, just to kind of help out. So if that's what you've seen, more power at you. But yeah, he's got a brother too, same last name. But I think that they each, or the one flannel shirt guy, kind of really helps with the trail. I think that he donates to the trail. And I mean, that is why he's out there and was there that day. He walks down to Monon Bridge and back. Just he loves the trail system. No, not at all. No. In fact, if he had did it, his ass would be sitting in prison right now. Think about that. You don't pull one over on the FBI, man. They're going to ask you. They're going to get to the bottom of everything you say. And I mean, if not, you will be held there. Because believe me, man, this is double capital murder of 2 minor girls. And I mean, like I've told you the rarity of that. There's only been, 16 cases since 1974 of 2 girls being abducted in the daytime and murdered. And at least half of them were solved because it said in the FBI statistics that half of them were committed by family or friends of the family. So we know that 8 of those 16 were solved. 2 that are unsolved is Delphi, Indiana, and Evansdale. Now, somebody brought up Zion last week, and one guy said, it's a reversible date too. Like, reversible to what? You know? Look, I don't say it's something's a reversible date. I mean, every date can be reversible. I mean, you know, if you reverse it, but like, you know, it's got to reverse to something. But anyway, I went and looked that up and I was wrong. I had seen that before. And it's going back over a year ago, because when I found it over a year ago, they already had a guy that DNA matched to that, and they took him back there to be tried. So I don't feel that that was my suspect that had did that. There is corruption in every county in this country. There is corruption. You know, it's to what level that it runs, but there's corruption. Now, is there corruption in the investigation? No. I don't believe that there's any in the investigation, you know, because by claiming that there's corruption in it, well, who's corrupt? Who would the FBI let get away with double capital murder, you know, from a small town? You know, who's got that kind of pull? Nobody. No one. Nada. No one, man. There ain't anybody so corrupt that nobody's going to mess with them in a small town. Believe me. So I don't think that there's any in the investigation. Is there any in Carroll County? Yeah. But same with Howard County, same with Fulton County, same with any county. They all got corruption. Amber Alert, how you doing? Man, glad you made it. Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Bruce Davis. They wouldn't. I mean, that's what I was covering earlier. If you go down to where the crime scene was, where the girls were found the next day, their bodies, it's down a 70-foot hill. Down a 70-foot hill. If you pull in at the cemetery and you go down, it's a 70-foot incline down there. Now, you're thinking that one person with law enforcement going around all night and someone watching every car that went by, you know, that they're going to go in there and take people down there, and they would have to drag them 70 foot down that hill. Their car would be seen. They wouldn't get in and out there without being noticed by law enforcement and others. Believe me, it did not happen. Now, this person is using theory over common sense, logic, anything investigatory at all. That's why, I mean, somebody, when I was talking about Zion last week, somebody sent me videos on Facebook, sent me to another video channel on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, I don't watch other people's videos. I ain't even going to look at that. I can go to Google and find what I need there, and did really quick. I mean, everybody sends me like things like, I don't know how to look something up. I do. I know how to look things up. That's why I'm sitting here having a channel and I'm telling you what I found, man. That's why. Yes. Thank you, aka Radar. I like the new name. I think it looks really cool. It's Radar, everyone. It's Radar. Thank you. Like it. Hey, if you do, you know what? I was out today, and I mean, again, I'm seeing like other little flowers popping up, and I really need to go out and just get them on video and send to you. That way you can, actually I can upload them unlisted and just send you the link. Hey, Chris G, how you doing? So it is about 7, and it's about 7, and I'm running out of questions. Man, I wanted this to be a time of facts. Facts. Does anybody think it's a fact that TJB sounds like the suspect? Walks like the suspect? Shaped like the suspect? Looks like the suspect? Anybody? Anyone? Is it just me? See, you know what I do, man? I go out in the woods with my dog and let him run freely. Just let him go out and run and be puppy, be dog. Love my dog. I think he does. In fact, right here. This right here was taken right off of his face. And I can say that because the eyes look just like him. Same with the facial hair. And that's why I believe. Now, you know what? I mean, let me go beyond this a little bit, because something I didn't bring up last week that I probably should have. In St. Louis, when St. Louis contacted Carroll County, and they said that that the suspect down there was dressed like Bridge Guy, okay, because he had on the hoodie, the hat. He had everything that Bridge Guy had on. Now, think about this. This guy had never been caught committing a crime. No DNA, no fingerprints to be matched to, just like what we're looking for. Now, not only does he look like the sketch, which was made off of his face, he's wearing the same hat and clothes. Well, think about that. Now, what are the freaking odds? Now, I always go back to these odds because statistics are very big in this. You're looking at dates that, match, reverse. It's, a guy that's looks like the guy, dressed like the guy, had never committed a crime before, never got caught committing a crime. What are the odds of all this would happen like that? What are the odds they start shutting that down because they know who it is? They know it's this guy. The DNA came back. It's a match, sir. We got fingerprints. They match, dude. We got his picture. Show it to the people that seen him. Is this the guy you've seen? It is. Okay. This is how it goes down. And this is why I stated over 2.5 years ago that there will not be a suspect come forward. There will be nobody arrested that's going to fit to the, who they're looking for, because that guy's been in jail for 2.5 years. He's still going to trial. Now, he goes to a jury trial on November 1st of this year. Possible announcement date would be February 13th, 2022. It's just the best date I can give, but it does fit because of all dates. That's right now is the one that sticks out in everybody's mind. That's the one everybody knows, because DELPHI was really, really big news. Went international. It was on Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, Nancy Grace, all of these shows. Oh, hey, is that Kai? How you doing, Kai? Good vibes, man. He's lefty, man. I think he's going to be a lefty, man. I do. So, 7 o'clock. I need questions. Questions. My kingdom for a question. Okay. Thought he was asking me. I said, dude, I'm from here, man. pretty much from where I'm at right now. It will be 2022. I'll lay money on it. We'll lay money to it. This 2022. Southern California, man. You don't know Stylist, do you? She lives down there. I know Stylist lived in Southern California. Did you know TJB? Because if you did, you could be on my channel right now. Not to my knowledge, but I wouldn't feel that they would. I think that this was more of a crime of opportunity. You know, I think that he went there looking for someone that you know he could use as a victim, and as happenstance goes, 2 girls were there. Now he could have been waiting for 2 girls, but I mean, let's look at it, man. It's a trail. It's not heavily traveled. You know, that could have been a very long wait. But again, as happenstance would go, there it was. Oh, it's 7 in the evening. It's 7 in the evening here, PM. So yeah, I didn't think that they would know him, because I mean, look, and there's another issue with that. There really is, because if he knew the girls or their families, then A, he would have had to know they was going to the trail that day, and he did not. They came up with the whole concept of going to the trails, ask, and they was taken there. Ta-da! Now he was already there 2 hours, well, an hour and a half minimally before they got there. So he had no way of knowing that they was going to be there that day. And if he did know that they was going to be there that day by any internet communication, the FBI would have had that off the bat and he would have been arrested. Period. I mean, I marked that off, man, within probably a week after they was arrested, that, yeah, there was nothing from online, because if there was, that guy would have been hit really quick, really, really quick. Yeah, you know what? Kelsey would say that because law enforcement said that, and she's to say what law enforcement says. Yeah, he's hiding in plain sight. Yeah, a county of 20,000 people don't know who it is. Everybody's seen the guy and heard the guy, but nobody knows, man. Nobody knows. Yeah, he's hiding in plain sight. No. The guy's hidden in a St. Louis jail currently. The second younger sketch was given at the briefing for a reason of killing the investigation. They had known for 5 months who it was. Now, they couldn't come out and tell us they knew who it was. If they came out and they said, it's TJB, and he was arrested in St. Louis. Well, why aren't you filing charges? Well, we can't yet. Well, why? Well, see, then they would have to give out their entire investigation as to why. Well, if you're kept very quiet on this and you're just not in the know as to what's going on, then the better, because they know this guy can't do anything. He's in jail. He ain't getting out. Okay, so if they play like, well, we're going to give a younger sketch and say this came out, and well, I can go back to the press conference on the first sketch, this one that came out. Took them what, 3 months? 3 months with the 2 people that seen him. It took a long time to come up with this sketch. Now, why would they spend that much time getting to the details of this sketch and then go, well, it's just crap. We don't want that guy anymore. You know, that guy, it was him, but we had everything wrong. No, we talked to him again, and we came up with a sketch that was right off the bat, and he's like 20 years old and didn't have a hat on. Well, we know he had a hat on. We know he had a hat on. The lady had seen him. He had a hat on. That's why the sketch has a hat on. They didn't know the exact style of a hat, but they knew the type, just much like this one right here. They knew he had that hat on. Now, he didn't take that hat off and throw it out in the woods somewhere. You see where I'm at? Nobody's seen him without a hat on. Just like in St. Louis, he had a hat on. So, yeah, I look at that second sketch as, well, they're throwing it out for the narrative that he's younger. And, oh, and we think he lives right around here. Well, how old is he? 18 to 40? Nobody knows. We just suddenly went ignorant. We don't know. Yeah, see, that's the BS of it. I can tell you exactly to the day how old he is. He's 45 days older than I am. Probably because he's a Mason. What happens if I'm wrong? I give 100 on it. 100%. 100% that it's him. I know it's him. If other people don't, other people follow stupid theories. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. People follow the newest theory that comes out. Somebody says something, oh, that sounds right. Let me hop on that. And I'm going to spread it like it's a rumor, because it is a rumor. It is a rumor. Everything that I have stated has come true. Every single thing. Everything. Nobody's been arrested. Everything still maintains exactly the way it was 2.5 years ago. There won't be an arrest of this guy until this guy gets convicted. Hello? Has anybody seen anybody charged with this? No. No, nobody. Thanks for being here, Bruce. Appreciate it. I believe that he will. If not, he'll be killed in prison. One or the other. Oh, man. Well, questions. I need questions. Without questions, man. You know what, man? This week I'm vaping pina colada. Tastes like a pina colada too, minus the alcohol. I wouldn't. I'd be doing like alcohol vapes or anything. Puppy's doing fantastic. He's in the room right now. I just closed the door so he could take a nap. So most of the time he's out here in my lap trying to make me throw a ball, which is very cute. I like it. Yeah, well, Norway. Man, Norway's a little north, man. You expect it to be a little chilly in Norway. They do like curling and stuff like that over there, man. Yeah, same here. Almost exactly 20 years. Well, about 21, actually. Now, one relapse, but it quickly ended. Thank you, Betty. And Libsa. Man, I love dogs, man. I do. All dogs are good dogs. Just gotta be on the side of dogs, Thank you very much. I don't know how it is in Norway, but I can tell you, man, on the coast of Oregon, man, beautiful climate, man. In the wintertime, it don't get real cold, and in the summer, it don't get real hot. But it rains like every day. When you wake up in the morning, it's raining. Okay, so questions? Anybody? Anyone? Let me throw out my email just for... Oh, yeah, that's my email. That's right. Right there. That way you can write to me and ask how I'm doing. Yeah, you can say, hey, how's Puppy? How's he feeling today? Is he doing all right? And I'd be like, see, Puppy, man, some people do give a shit about you. And then I could talk to him for a minute, make him feel really big, and then write back, oh, I appreciate you asking. I really do. Makes my day. Right there. The crypto of the week. Man, that's a good question. Honestly, I mean, to me, if I was going to drop some in right now, because I've owned some Cardanos for a couple months, and all of a sudden they go up, like a whole $1 a piece. So I was like, yeah, man. I mean, that was really good. That was really, really nice, man. I was happy to have Cardanos, man. They shot through the roof. So, yeah, Celsius, though. But, I mean, I wouldn't buy Cardanos now. I mean, they might go up to $10. I mean, give it time. But, if they start dropping any, buy some Cardanos. You will not be displeased. I am not a financial advisor. I did not go to college to advise you on your finances. I am here for entertainment and specific educational purposes. To wit, I should tell a joke, but I refuse to. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to get Puppy his own show, man. He's such a clown, man. He's so charismatic. He loves the camera so much. You put a camera on him, man. I mean, like, he just goes, hey, man. Let me tell you, man, when I take him out into the woods and we're walking through the field, you know what he wants to do? If he sees something, he bounces, man. He bounces up and he's like looking around. How could you be more adorable than that? Let me ask you. He does, man. I'd like to get him his own channel and just put him walking on it. Him just doing crazy, cool antics. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. And Instagram, Puppy's own Instagram. Hang on one second. Let me pull that up. See, man, now it should be right here. I know it was here. I know it was right here last week. Ah, wrong ones, boy. Okay. Now I got to do this again. Got to go like that. This right here. Click that. Click that. Now share. Yay. See? And then let me get rid of my name. My email here. Get rid of me. All right. Here we go.
Murder suspect Thomas Bruce 1 month before his alleged Catholic supply store rampage.
It is exclusive video that Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes obtained after his exclusive interview with the road rage victim. Chris?
Mandy Vick, Tom Bruce is charged with sexual attacks and murder inside a suburban Catholic store November 19th. 1 month earlier, he was captured having an angry interaction with a Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper. Bruce was driving a 2017 Kia. The victim says Bruce pulled in front of him and slammed on his brakes. Missouri State Highway Patrol then captured dash cam footage with the man who would soon become a murder suspect.
I am a citizen. You work for me. Okay, all right? Do you understand that? I don't work for you. Okay? Yes, you do. I pay your taxes, and you do not work for me. Step back. Where do you step back? All right, you're standing right there. Where do you want to stand? Right here.
That's just the beginning of the tense and surprising moments in this confrontation.
Let's back this up to here. Let's see.
You do not work for me. Step back. Where do you
Okay, now, right here.
That's just the beginning of...
Quick second back. Okay, watch when he takes a step forward. His hands are in his pockets. He's looking down. Now watch.
Just the beginning
right here.
Of the tense and surprising.
Hands in pockets, head down. Where have we seen that before? Bridge guy. It's bridge guy. It's exactly where. Hands in pockets, head down. Sounds exactly like down the hill. Now the guy's part, that was thrown in. That was thrown in for the reason of it was in a different key. Guys, down the hill. You know, that way it didn't sound like the down the hill part where people go, well, maybe his voice is that, you know, anything to distract us, make us believe that it could be someone other than, because they wasn't pointing at anybody, but they was giving us details that did not fit who they knew it was. And I maintain to the fact they knew who it was. I mean, they can't come out and give you the evidence and say, well, the FBI did tell us that the evidence, you know, that the DNA matched. We did get that from because the fingerprints matched. They can't go around that. But they would have to say, well, we did that because we didn't want people asking about the investigation, because we couldn't tell who it was, because then they would just inundate us with a bunch of questions that we did not need. We couldn't tell you what we was doing. Well, I don't know what it is that they're doing, but I do know who it is, and I know that they've known for 2.5 years who it was. And that's the truth. Yeah. Well, and don't take me wrong on this. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody that is a Mason, but the point is Masons look out for each other. And if you are a Mason, I mean, I'm positive that the cop did not think that he was involved in murder anywhere. But at the same time, if you're a Mason, they will allow you to go home. Well, that's because you're training your mind that you're looking for the way that people say things. Now, when I heard the guy say down the hill, you know, that was the original audio that we was given. Now, when I heard him say down the hill, you know, we're listening to that and we're trying to decide, well, where's this guy come from? You know, it didn't sound like Indiana. It didn't sound like the guy was from right here. I mean, it's a little different than that, but it sounded a little bit more Southern, you know, and I always put it like that. Now, originally, the guy is from Michigan, you know, just actually not all that far over the border north into Michigan, which would sound a lot more. And I guess that, you know, as far as northern Indiana goes, it would sound a lot like that. They don't sound Canadian right there. I have no idea what that means. A live panel in UK about flu. Coon. I would, and a lot of us here would greatly appreciate your input. Alligators paid to spread fear. Sorry, off topic. Okay. Well, yeah, but both of the recordings, I mean, be it the one in Delphi was taken off of a cell phone that was likely placed in a pocket or a top or in a front pocket right there, you know, away from the guy. Now, the guy, of course, leading them would have been behind them. So it was at a distance and muffled in the first place. I mean, you're exactly right. Now, the second one from the traffic pullover, he's standing away from the vehicle and it's got a dash cam. Well, most of the time, the cop's standing between him and the mic. So again, they're not really distinct. I mean, I'll put it to you like this. If I took my mic here, which is a Blue Yeti, and I mean, like, you know, I had somebody right there speaking into it, I could really clear that and give you a very fantastic kind of audio of their voice. But in both cases, they're kind of weaker recordings. It's just meant to capture the voice, not really do it in a clean, like, atmosphere. Now, the FBI, they have the utensils where they can go in and get you to speak. And I mean, they can run that through all kinds of things, man. And it will pretty much diagram your voice and can tell if it's you or not. They have that kind of technology. But what we're looking at, we have to listen to and say, does it sound like him? And I believe that it does. Now, the difference is one, if like, say I'm whatever, committing, whatever, and I'm doing, and I tell someone, like, down the hill. Well, that's different than if I am very disrupted and I got a cop there and I'm drunk. And I believe that he was drunk during the commission of the crime in Delphi. But at the same time, now I'm aggravated and I'm raising my voice and I'm yelling. Those are two different voice things right there. One's at a different tone than the other. So, and again, that with lesser degree of audio recording, I think that that's one reason why, a person could hear that and say, well, it could be anybody. Well, I agree, because when they released the audio, man, that count went up on the tip line. It went from, I forget how many tens of thousands up to the next, because everybody felt that they knew who that was. Same thing when they released the pictures of the guy. Everybody thought they knew who it was, right down to Greeno saying that it was Sheriff Lesenby. And I thought that was funny, because when he told me that, and then we went and looked that up where Lesenby was talking to the news guy, he's like, yeah, nobody's off the table here. He goes, myself included. And the guy's like, what do you mean? You was turned in? Well, I had to, because he was saying that he was turned in. And I mean, you could see that, because somebody that lives locally would be like, oh, that's the sheriff, man. It ain't the sheriff. That's the last person that was. The same thing, man, where everybody was saying it was Ronald Logan. It ain't Ronald Logan. For the love of God, that ain't some 77-year-old man. Who in the hell would think that guy could have, like, it just ain't possible. But once people get an idea in their head, if you can't, like, disprove it, well, it must be right. No, it's just ignorant. That's the point. It's just ignorant. Yeah, and I agree. Because when me and Greeno was talking about the voice, we felt that it was probably more southern, like southern Indiana, northern Kentucky. Nothing with any kind of a southern drawl to it, but just spaced south of us a ways. Now, that's what him and I mean, when we were sitting right here where my entertainment system now is, we were sitting right there talking about that. And that's going back, God, man, like 3 years ago. Now, when we was talking about that, because we thought, well, it doesn't sound like somebody from here down the hill. Well, it doesn't have like me or somebody from right around here that was raised around here saying down the hill. It doesn't sound like that. Now, it sounds like a little slower down the hill. Now, that made me think that it was probably somebody from a little south of here. Now, I thought that it would, I didn't really find irony in it when I found out that the guy had been living there in St. Louis, because that's right there on the meridian where we've been talking about, like right down into like Kentucky, right down on that line. And, right at that time, I thought, well, that could be, very well could be because of his voice, just on behalf of that. But again, if you take like Madonna, where she went over to England for so long. Well, when she came back, everybody said she was trying to sound like she was British. No, she had lived there for a long time when this was around them, and you start to mimic the exact same speech patterns that they have. If I went over to England and I was like around like British people for 2 years and came back, people would think I was trying to sound British. I'm not. It's the way that your voice adapts to, speak back to somebody using that kind of an accent. So I wondered if, his voice hadn't changed a little bit via accent from the North, in the Navy, being in California for 11 years, living down there for, wow, let's say over 15 years. Where does your accent start to change? You know, when does it start to sound a little bit more Southern? Yeah, no, he's not from Norway, dude. If he is, man, he got him beat a long time ago. Yeah, you know what? We did that too. Me and Greeno, we took it to Audacity, man. Took the background sound out best that we could, brought it out, changed the dynamic a little bit. Now, in everything that you hear, here's the difference. You know, you want to try to clean that up, but when you take out like the background sounds, man, that sound, that's got a lot of rustle to it. Now, that's going to take out some areas of the sound of the voice too. Now, I mean, you can try to clean it up, but the thing is no matter what you do to it, it's never going to sound exactly like that guy talking into a good mic. You know, it's never going to get to that. You know, I really don't. Hold on, let me scroll down here. I really don't. I don't think that, you know, I mean, I understand it's the same guy, and they said that this is the same guy. This isn't a separate person. This is the same guy that we see on the bridge right there. Now, they commented that, but they added one word, guys. Now, he stated before giving us that word, guys, that that morning was the first time that the family had heard that word. This tells me what I had been saying. The family hadn't heard all of that tape. And believe me, they would not share all of that tape with the family. You know, but people think that the family's like in the investigation and what they say goes in this. It ain't. You know, they're not in the investigation. I'm not in the, you know, nobody is in that investigation aside of those who are in the investigation. But I think that guys down the hill, you know, it's like two different voice tones. Now, I don't know why they would have did that, because law enforcement had stated that they certainly had more audio. Now, having more audio, and again, here's my question. If she put that on video record and captured the guy walking and then stuck it in a pocket, which I assume, I don't know that she did, but I assume that she did, because if she was carrying it like this out of the water, he would know that something's up about that phone, you know? I mean, like, why is she so particular about keeping that phone out of the water? Why is that even on her mind? That would have set him onto the fact that maybe it was recording. Now, if it recorded all the way down, guys down the hill, well, he had to tell them which way to go, was talking to them. Now, through all of that, they're getting a good voice print of the guy. So I wonder, why would they release guys said with a different tone than down the hill? Unless the guy was all the time talking in this higher pitch. I don't know. You know, it didn't make any sense to me. Now, I was upset after the briefing. I didn't go watch it. You know, I didn't go over there. Now, I could have. I mean, but there wasn't any questions. And I thought, why? I can watch it right here and do a live video. So I watched it down at my friend's house, came up here, and I was really upset. I knew it wasn't going to be a suspect announcement, because I knew that they couldn't go down and talk to the guy. I knew that they hadn't in 5 months. So I knew it wasn't about a suspect. But when they gave that material out, I'm like, man, what are they doing? I mean, are they trying to wreck this? I mean, like, I am not an understanding of we now feel he's from around here hiding in plain sight and he's 18 to 20. Well, holy mother of God, man, most everybody's 18 to 20 around here. I mean, you know, what? I mean, who in the hell do you think it is? You know, that's what I would have been asking. Like, what in the hell are you trying to tell people, man? Are you guys retarded or something? I mean, of course I know the guy ain't 18 to 40. But after a couple of days of coming down and looking at it, I'm like, I got it. Yeah. They named it A New Direction. They named it A New Direction because anybody calling in on that shit, they already knew it was just crap. They already knew who it was. They ended the investigation with the briefing. Now, I'm positive that they have more audio. But again, my question relates to, did the creek take it out? Did the creek kill that battery? You know, did it go into the water and did it kill the battery? If so, they only have up to the creek. Now, if it made it across that creek, if it was in the top pocket on Libby, then it made it across the creek and in all likelihood would have caught at least some of the attack. Now, I believe that he at least videotaped or took pictures of. That's me. And again, I mean, when he was arrested down there, I know that I read that they took stuff out from underneath his trailer. Now, if that was stuff that he was hiding from his wife, who would have been the person he was hiding it from, then that very well could have been like audio, video, and the whole nine like that. Now, if that is true as well, and I believe that it could be, we'll find that out when he goes to court on it. It could have been. It could have been. I don't know that. But it could have been. But I would say this. I mean, it's a crappy recording. I mean, it really is. It was taken off of a cell phone that was likely in a pocket with him behind him. So with that having been said, I mean, we don't know that he didn't say, guys, down the hill, because that is something that he very well could have said. I mean, at what other point would he have said guys? You know, and again, I mean, saying guys to two girls, a little odd, but it depends. If you walk up to him and you're just saying, like, you two, you know, I'll put it like this. Would he have went up and said, hey, girls, go down the hill? No. You know, now he could have said guys down the hill, meaning like, you know, you two down the hill. And I think that it could have been said like that. I don't know whether that he would have extracted a word guys out from something that he said aside to that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, that was kind of our thoughts off the bat, like really southern Indiana, really northern Kentucky, like right down in that area. Now, I mean, I am no voice expert and I lay no claim on being a voice expert. I mean, I know some accents. I mean, like when you put it like that, how you gonna miss a Boston accent, New York, New Jersey accent, Canada, you know. I mean, we got these accents and they tend to blend. It's like you go down to southern Indiana and you know, they blend because there isn't just a line where the accent changes, you know, they kind of blend together, you know, into the different accent, then deeper, you know. So I didn't think that he really had a big accent, and that told me more like Midwestern, you know, because it wasn't like he sounded like he was from Alabama or Arkansas, you know, Texas or on the East Coast. You know, he sounded very Midwestern, common Midwestern accent, but it sounded a little bit more Southern than Central Indiana. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I mean, I do too. I really do, because look, let me tell you, man, if somebody's coming across and they're that close to me, and I put that phone on video record to capture them. Now, I want that to capture what it is that they're saying, okay? Because this right here is going to be used later by law enforcement. I mean, I can show them, and I'm sure that's what she was thinking. So she doesn't want to like hold that phone and go around holding it. So I think that when she caught his body walking, that she slid it like into her pants, into a top, or into a side pocket if she had one. So that's kind of my thoughts, you know, and hopefully it wasn't in her waist pocket, you know, in the waistband, because that's where it would have got hit by the Deer Creek. But if it was in a top pocket or something like that, then it would have made it across and likely got part of the attack, which I'm positive will be used against that guy in no uncertain terms. Hey, good night, Alexander. Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, it will. And that's the speaker. It's the speaker in their settings. I mean, when I played the audio, we played it like right off the State Cop website, man, and got it off of there. We tried to clean it up with Audacity, but really what you're left with is down the hill, you know, and it's going to sound the same or remarkably exactly the same, but it's not going to sound crystal clean. Yeah. Well, you say 219. Now, when I was growing up, my telephone area code was 219. But I mean, like I was like raised in Fulton County, Indiana. Mass South, Anderson, south of here anyway. Okay, we got 24 minutes, and if you got a question, here I am, ready to talk openly. Answer away. And if you have not gave to the channel, you can now. Just click the little link right there. It says Facebook, Michael Stroop. There you go. And you can add me on Facebook. Send me a message. Holy crap. Oh, wait. No. And questions. November 1st of this year, he goes to jury trial. November 1st. Now it says a 5, or was it a 5 or 6 day? I think it was 6 day. Or maybe it's 5. Now, maybe it's 5-day jury trial. But anyway, you don't have a jury trial in 5 days for first-degree murder. You don't. Well, thank you, Alexander. Appreciate it. And NOK. That's got to be a Norway. What? If you don't mind. A weekend visa. Yeah, November 1st. Now, in 6 days on a 6-day jury trial, nobody gets a 6-day jury trial. I mean, man, look at O.J. Simpson. I mean, his trial was over a year. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, a kroner. Geez, dude, okay. Man, you know, see, I'm into cryptocurrencies. I mean, it would be cool to tell people that I had some Norwegian kroners, man. That'd be cool as crap, man. And I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, dude. 33 of them to boot. Where is Pookie? Yes, I see it, little Pookie. I'm sorry. When I look over to the right, man, I'm looking down and trying to see like the newest messages right there. Apologize for not seeing it. We'll get to it as soon as I get there, Bruce. We did. I mean, really all that she could state was that, you know, she did talk to the guy for a couple of minutes. When we was asked about what it looked like, I can't answer anything. I can't even talk to you about it. But I am that lady. was pretty much what was stated. You know, I am the lady that was walking her dogs. Now, she moved from there, but you got to understand, she knew that that guy, the suspect, knew where she lived. She knew that he knew that she lived right there. Now, nobody else was there talking to him, only her. So he would know when that sketch came out that that lady living right there is the one that gave the details for it, because this picture was out. He didn't know that. He didn't know it was being recorded. But when he found out and then realized that that lady's the one that turned him in after seeing the photo, that's why she moved, because they didn't know who it was. And she didn't want to live there, man, because she knew that guy could show up and kill her at any time. So why would she live there? You see where I'm at? Yeah. Hold on. I'll throw it back up. That's my email. Right there. $20. 20. That's 2 and a 0. Questions, man. See, man, I'm being slowed down. Hey, Lollipop. What up, man? I believe that she did. I really do. I mean, I believe that, you know, when they got the photos from St. Louis that they was taken to, man, am I buffering? Because I don't understand why doing this. Hang on. Yeah, it's still buffering. Thank you, Alley Cat, man. Appreciate it. Well, I thank you for that, but don't, you know, that's maybe a little diehard. I don't think I am wrong on this at all. And I've been preaching that for a couple, 2.5 years, but my words have maintained correct. See, am I buffering? Because, man, I'm really slowed. Okay. All right, cool. Because, man, here, I mean, yeah, man, I'm like way behind here. And everybody must be leaving because there is nothing going on in chat. All right, any questions? If not. Now, I think that is what happened. I mean, if you go back to when St. Louis called and said, hey, we arrested a guy. He looks like your sketch. He was dressed just like Bridge Guy was. He had never been caught committing a crime. You know, I think that when his fingerprints came back as the Delphi unknowns, that was the tip-off that, hey, this guy might be involved with that crime. That's why they contacted Carroll County and told him all that. I think that they told him about the fingerprints. The FBI showed up the following day to get his DNA. Now, that ain't coincidental. I think that they knew exactly who they had there when the fingerprints matched, because not only did they match Delphi, but they also matched 2 cases in Michigan, possibly more in California. So I think that once those fingerprints came back like that, they knew who they had. When they sent the photo of Thomas Jerome Bruce to Carroll County, that's when they would have taken that photo along with pictures of other men that look similar to him and asked the 2 that seen him if that was the man that they seen at the bridge that day. Go back what? He goes to court on November 1st this year. Oh, sounds cool, man. Right on, Kenny. Yeah, get a hold of me at my email. It's just like this right here. See, yep, that looks right. At that email, reach me, let me know, and I'll give you my telephone number, and we can go from there. No, now there's photos, and I mean, I got a lot of photos. I got photos of him off of family members' websites where they was with him at. One's at a baseball game, Let me go see if I can pull that up real quick, because he is wearing a hat. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. Let's see. I got to go through all this shit again. Man, they never simplify things, do they? And they always go, yeah, we made it so much easier. Now you got to click 5 buttons. Yay. God, man. Peoples. Oh, I need to get rid of the email again. Okay. All right. Let's do it like so. Now, this here is the picture, and you will note he's right to the exact left-hand side here. And that is him with the hat on. That's right. That's him with the hat on. See the facial hair right here? Now, I want to ask you, because people are talking about his hair color. Well, look right here. If his hair was out in it, would you say it's gray? Or with that brown in it, would you say it was reddish brown? Same with down here. Now, he has a complete white goatee now. But if you go back 2017, man, there was little sprinklets in there of other color, especially up here on his hair. So I do believe, in fact, I am in the know that he is the Delphi suspect. Like straight up in the know. He's nobody other than, never has been. You know what? That's a good question. It really is. Because I believe that there could have been things left. Now, it was said like, what, 2 to 3 signatures, odd signatures, something like that. Now, think about that. If you got a guy that's out there, now, a Christian preacher, pastor, however you look at that, he wouldn't do something like that. If you see where I'm at, a Christian wouldn't do something like that. Not a real Christian, not one practicing good values, morals. Nobody would do anything like that. But now a sadistic serial killer would. Now, what would they leave behind? Well, of course, this to them, you must assume, would be a spiritual issue. This is something in their mind. This is something that don't meld with what it is that they put themselves out to be. This is something completely different than that. So I got to wonder if he was not leaving maybe religious type symbols behind, as a way of, God, man, I mean, how could I put that best? And I don't know what they would be, but it just seems to me that would be something that could just really transpire like that. Don't know that, but we will find out. We'll see. Yeah, non-secular. Thank you. That is what I believe Robert Ives had said. But, when somebody had told me about that, I'm like, well, it's not odd. I mean, and it wouldn't be odd given the guy that I'm pointing at. It would seem kind of right. But again, that's one of those things that, I mean, I can't say. I mean, there is no way to say, you can only go by what was stated. Now, is that real? Is that something that he was putting out there? I would doubt it, because why would you put that out there when people know this about Thomas Bruce? That would be almost like saying that it is Thomas Bruce. And I don't think that he was trying to do that. Reach me on Facebook, and I'll send you her Facebook page. Well, I don't know that the camera was, no, I don't think that the camera was in the area where it would have caught him. I mean, he walked down the side of that bridge, which is, well, at the time it was railroad property, but I don't think that they had any reason to. I don't think there was anybody going down there onto their land or anything like that. Now, I think up at their house, maybe security cameras, but he wasn't up at their house. You know, and yeah, I did hear that they had turned those off, but again, I don't think it would have caught the guy. Thank you, Bruce. I'll get that as soon as I get there. Well, if he was asking me, I would agree. I mean, I don't know Freemasonry. I don't think that they would have used that. Paganism, you know, I don't think that would have played in. I don't think he was into witchcraft, but more towards Satanism or a more of a spiritual thing, you know, because it seems like he's at odds with two entities, one being God, the other one being like a satanic dark entity. And it looks like he was expelling one side, like, you know, oh, I'm this guy, I'm this good guy, I can be trusted, you know, I'm a super good guy. But on the flip side of that, I mean, when you look at these crimes that he's done, it is very dark, like right down to picking dates. I mean, very dark. So, I mean, I do question whether it was something satanic or Christian that was left behind, possibly as a signature. I don't know that. I mean, but it could be. It would certainly seem in likelihood that it could be. Well, and again, I don't even know about that radar. I mean, all I had heard was somebody say this and that about the cameras and that they were turned up. Well, I never heard her say that. So for me to expound upon that would be like saying that she did say that, and that I would know that it was in an area. And then to buy that and follow through with that theory, then I'd have to say, well, why was they turned off? Was she in on it? You see where I'm at? And I ain't doing that. I don't think she had anything to do with it. I think it was simple as she was gone. If she had like some security cameras at her house, I couldn't see him being down in the woods on the frickin' trail. But on the flip side, and another thing, I mean, like nobody's going down around that bridge to go deer hunting. You know, nobody's going to hunt right there, man. It's like, you know, public access, so to speak. I don't think anybody would be down there hunting. So I don't see any reason that they would have a trail cam there unless it was there for security. But again, I don't see anything with security there. You know, they lived in an outback kind of area, and some of the trail was partly used for, you know, hiking on the north side, and people could come across, and maybe they had some suspicion people was down there. I don't know. But on the flip side, I don't think they had anything to do with it. And it doesn't mean anything to me as far as investigating this at all. Because what am I to say? Am I supposed to spotlight her and then put her in as like having something to do with it? Hell no. I know better than that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I heard it too, but again, I think it's kind of it's an old point, and it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't, because if we're to follow something like that, being like theory, then we have to say, well, why are we even paying attention to it? It doesn't tell us anything about who did it. Nothing. Now, if it's to tie her into it, I know better. Okay. Her ass would have been arrested immediately. You know, I know she didn't have anything to do with it, or her family, or anything of the like. Yeah, no, well, and that is true, and that is probably why sadistic serial killers do that. You know, they leave their a mark, and that lets like law enforcement know or believe, hey, this was left in the same similar kind of crime over here, same guy. Now they want you to know that. They want law enforcement to figure that out, but they don't want the guys to know who it is. You see where I'm at? Well, he knew his fingerprints and DNA was clean because he had committed 2 crimes in Michigan, left fingerprints and DNA in both crimes. It was stated right there. So without that coming back on him, then he knew he was clean of it. Well, here in Delphi, I mean, why is he trying to hide up fingerprints and DNA? They already got his fingerprints and DNA. They don't know who he is. So he knows he ain't got to hide them. See where I'm at? No, I don't think so. But even at that, now, I mean, maybe squirrel or something. I mean, rabbit possible. But I mean, at that, I mean, you're out with a shotgun or a 22. It's kind of like I say. I mean, there isn't one day, not one single day, that I couldn't sit right here inside my house, right in my living room, and hear a gun go off. I mean, there's like 12 gauges, ARs. I mean, like everybody around us has got weapons. Everybody's all the time out shooting. It's something in central Indiana that everybody does. You know, everybody. And I don't think that if it was a 22 or something like that, especially down the holler, and nobody would have heard it. And if they did, I mean, being that far away, they wouldn't have had any idea. Farmer out shooting. You know, no big deal. No, well, no, I know that he wasn't, but I'm just saying that that's where it goes. That's where it leads to. I mean, if I was to talk about the camera, well, why am I talking about the camera? I mean, you know, I don't feel she had anything to do with it. And if she didn't have a camera on, especially in an area where it would have caught him, well, it doesn't do me any good. You know, it doesn't do me any good at all to look at that. Yeah, maybe. I know that Mears didn't have any at that time, but Mears wouldn't at that time. Now, Mears had the deer blind on their property, but it was past deer hunting. I mean, they didn't have any reason to go over there and keep checking a trail cam, especially right next to a trail where people travel, because that's how it get ripped off, believe me. You know, a little bit of disagreement with that. A little bit. Look, man, I got a trail cam that shoots in some serious high def with sound. Now, I'm not thinking that anybody had that there, but Mears, man, they had some big money. And if they was like looking for a deer, and again, man, trail cams take in excellent video. I mean, all of mine's super high def, and I had one well before 2017. They take really good video. In fact, the phone took very good video. I took a lesser quality phone all the way from the end of the bridge to where he was. You could see who it was clear, very clear. And that's all the way to the end of the bridge. I throw that out for GH. You know, oh, that was at the end of the bridge. Bullshit. You know, they weren't at the end of the bridge. You know, to go do some more testing, Mr. Science. And that's how you send somebody on. Do you see how I did that? Click, click, peace. That's how you do it. And then I don't even know if anybody caught that. Hey, go back, check his thing out. What? Oh, yeah. Dude, let me tell you something. There's a reason why I don't watch other people's videos, and that's because they're all fucking bullshit. All bullshit. Anything that they would know, anything they could say, FBI knew so far in advance. So that's why I don't look at other people's videos. Please never send me somebody else's videos because it's going to get sent on right along with your name. I don't watch other people's videos. None. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't give a flying flip. I don't. Peace. Talk to you later on, Bruce. And I'll get to your friend request as soon as I get to Facebook. All right. It's 8 and viewers are leaving. So am I. I want to thank everybody, man. Everybody that donated, everybody that viewed, every single one of you that's a moderator, man. You all rock. And that's why I show up, you know, so I can just be a part of all your action here. Man, I thank everybody for viewing. And, you know, I will be back Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. I should. And I will catch you all then, man. Peace, everybody. Have a great week.